So, what if those really weird habits of yours, the ones people kind of raise an eyebrow at, were actually a sign of something amazing? Today, we're exploring the eccentric traits that might just be the signature of a brilliant mind. Come on, be honest. Has anyone ever looked at you and said, you know, that's kind of weird? Or maybe you've even thought it about yourself. Like, do you talk to yourself when you're trying to figure something out? Or maybe you're the person who overthinks every single tiny decision. Or, hey, is your workspace what some people might politely call a mess? Okay, but what if those things aren't flaws at all? What if they're actually features? Psychology is starting to suggest that these so-called odd behaviors might just be the signs of a seriously intelligent mind at work. All right, first up, let's dive into a classic one. I'm calling it the self-talk superpower.
So on the one hand, the common view is, talking to yourself is a little strange, right? But from a psychological perspective, whoa, it's something totally different. It's actually seen as a tool for verbal reasoning.
See, when you're talking to yourself, you're not going nuts. What you're actually doing is organizing your thoughts. You're processing information out loud, which can really help solidify your memory. Think of it like this. It's just an external way to handle a super active internal world. Okay, next on the list is the overthinking advantage. And yeah, I know, advantage and overthinking in the same sentence sounds totally wrong, but just hear me out on this one. Does this sound familiar to you? You've got a decision to make, and your brain just instantly goes into full-on chess master mode, right? You're thinking 5 moves ahead, mapping out every single possible outcome, every little variable. Well, there's actually a pretty cool term for this whole process. It's called cognitive complexity. And what it really means is the ability to see all the nuances, all the little contradictions, and to build these incredibly elaborate and sophisticated connections between ideas. So what you might be labeling as overthinking is really just the sound of that highly complex mind of yours doing its job. It's running through all the variables. It's not indecision, it's deep processing. It's a feature, not a bug. And for our last one, let's talk about a habit that gets a really bad rap. Let's call it the method in the mess. Okay, so someone walks by your desk, and what do they see? Chaos, clutter, total disorganization. But what's really happening? Your brain is just prioritizing the big, important ideas over something superficial like tidying up. So while it might look random on the outside, it's actually backed by this super structured internal system that knows exactly where everything is. There's a name for this too. It's called selective organization. It's basically a state where your environment looks chaotic to other people, but for you, it's perfectly structured for your own unique workflow. Those piles make perfect sense to you, and honestly, that's all that really matters. Here's a great way to think about it. A messy desk isn't a sign of a messy mind, but a mind that's just too busy with brilliant ideas to worry about tidying up. It's not about being disorganized, it's about having your priorities straight. And sometimes, those priorities are game-changing ideas, not a spotless desk. So let's pull all this together. What does this actually mean for you? It's time to embrace your brilliance. So let's do a quick recap of how we've reframed these habits. That talking to yourself thing, that's your brain doing verbal reasoning. That constant overthinking, that's your cognitive complexity shining through. And that messy desk, well, that's just selective organization in action. The biggest takeaway here, the thing I really want you to remember is this. Your so-called eccentricities aren't just random quirks. They are literally the architecture of how your intelligent mind works. They're the unique systems your brain has built to deal with the world. So I'm going to leave you with a final question to chew on. Now that you have this new perspective, what other flaw in your life might actually be your greatest strength?